Sparks Comics here. Time to give you guys my most anticipated indie comics for this new comic book day, June 22nd, 2022. If you're new here, please be sure to go hit that subscribe button down below. And everybody, let me know in the comments what you are looking forward to this coming new comic book day. Let's get into it. First up, I got a couple honorary mentions because they're either ending or they're reaching the end of a story arc. And there's some better known comics, at least one of them is. So I don't want to throw them into my top picks for this week. First up, Homesick Pilots number 15. It is the end of the Homesick Pilots series from Dan Waters and Casper Wingard. And I am so excited to see how they wrap this all up. It's been such a fantastic series. So I'm sad to see it go, but it is right at that point where I can tell they've been getting to this final moments, and I'm excited to see where that takes us. Then I've got NOCTERRA number 11 is the end of the second story arc, Pedal to the Metal, from Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel. And NOCTERRA is one of those ones everybody's heard about over and over and over because it's Scott Snyder writing it, and it's just a fantastic series. So go check it out if you haven't already. Lastly, my other honorable mention is Destiny New York number 11 from Pat Shan and Rossi Comp. This one is the epilogue to the second arc. I have been really enjoying this very character-driven story from Pat Shan. He has such a incredible universe that he's building here in Destiny New York. This one coming from Black Mass Studios. So if you haven't checked it out yet, there is a trade paperback for Volume 1, and I assume we'll get a trade paperback for Volume 2 coming soon. So now let's talk about the top 10. First up for me, number 10 is We Only Find Them When They're Dead. Number 11 is the return of the series that is just such an expansive sci-fi story from Al Ewing and Simone DeMeo. Flash forward another 50 years, that's right. First story we saw took place 50 years before the second arc, and now we're going another 50 years into the future with an almost entirely new cast again. Probably one or two holdovers into the new story. Perfect place for new readers to jump on into the stunning finale. So this last 5 issues here will be the finale of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. It began with questioning the gods. It finally ends here once again at the edge of the universe. The lines between humanity and the divine blur even further as we hurtle towards the conclusion of this Eisner-nominated interstellar series from acclaimed writer Al Ewing and artist Simone DeMeo. I think I needed to go back and do a reread of everything because it's been a while, but I am very excited to see this series come back to us. Coming in for number 9 this week is another one from Boom Studios, and this one that you guys know I am always looking forward to reading. Something's Killing the Children, number 24, from James Tynion IV and Werther Dell'Edera. While Cutter's machinations continue to unfold at the House of Slaughter, Erica has tracked a terrifying new enemy within a small town in New Mexico. With her past quickly catching up to her, Erica must don the mask once again and head into the heart of danger if she wants to any hope of stopping this monstrous entity. I love that we're getting these creatures looking different, looking more human, blending better, I guess, with society. I mean, and that's kind of, maybe that's a comment on society, I don't know. But I've been just enjoying everything about Something's Killing the Children, and I hope this continues for many years, because I just want to keep reading it. That's my number 9 pick. Number 8 from Image Comics, we got I Hate This Place number 2 from Kyle Starks and Artyom Topolin. Gabby and Trudy are trapped. It's literally hell on earth, but the true monsters may not be who they seem. So this was interesting. These they inherited this property from the one character's aunt, and now that they're there, they essentially have to stay there to keep everything in check with what's going on. If they leave, these ghosts, these creatures could come chase them down. definitely get why they might say I hate this place, because that does seem exactly like it says, hell on earth. Kind of trapped in your house there. But it has been a fantastic read with issue number 1, so I am looking forward to what's coming next in the series. All right, coming down, that was number 8 there. This is number 7 now. Nottingham, number 8 of 10 from David Hazan and Shane Connery Volk. In France, tensions flare between the Merry Men and the Nottingham Guard as the quest to deliver King Richard's ransom hits a major roadblock. An attack on Marion changes everything. I have loved this entire Nottingham series. I was reading it from the very beginning, and it got really, really hot on that first issue. The first full volume really got a lot of hype, and it was well-deserved hype because David Hazan is writing such an awesome story with this different take on Robin Hood and his merry men. And Shane Connery Volk's art is just fantastic, fitting this dark, dark story. So, Nottingham number 8, like I said, that is my number 7 pick this week. Number 6 coming to us from Source Point Press is Nook number 1 from Caleb Thusat and Marcelo Bayat. Martha Webby doing the cover here. Fleeing the oppression of World War II Germany, Avery and her parents moved to the remote town on the border of France, only to discover their new home is haunted by a dark past and a cat named Nook. Swept up into a deadly cycle of violence, Avery will come to both fear and love her fuzzy new friend as the dark and twisted history of her new home is revealed. I mainly picked it up on my pull list because of the cat, and I love the the idea that the cat, you're gonna love the cat. It's fluffy, it's nice, but maybe it's a little haunted and twisted, or something's going on with this cat. Something's going on with all the cats. We know this. But Nook number 1 from Source Point Press, my number 6 pick. We are headed into the top 5 here. So if you're loving what we're talking about here, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment. Let me know which of these books that you are looking forward to, or did I miss something? Should I be going and picking up anything else this week? There's a lot that didn't make the list that I am picking up this week. It is a pretty big week for indie comics. But that being said, these ones I could talk about. This is my most anticipated books. So number 5 from Image Comics, we've got Bloodstained Teeth number 3 from Christian Ward and Patrick Reynolds. Christian Ward doing the cover A's on this series, and I've been loving them all. I love this idea of original vampires, hiding out, not creating new vampires because they don't want to be discovered, and people know that vampires are real. But then one of them just goes and starts making vampires, and now he is in trouble, and he has to hunt down all of his creations and really try to fix the problem that he created, or he himself will be destroyed. Meet Danny Park, a vampire whose particular fetish involves purposely crashing his automobile and then feasting on the Samaritans that come to his aid. He's on a collision course with Atticus Sloane, and it's a lovely night for a drive. As number 5 for most anticipated comics this week, coming in for number 4 is Heavy Metal Drummer number 5 from Emiliano Pliskin, Kiefer Finlow, and Luco Vassallo. It is the night of the big show, but all Dave can think about is cutting off heads. Haunted by visions to kill his parasitic enemy, he is pushed to the edge of sanity before coming face to face with a terrible truth. All while the net of our detectives draws ever tighter. This has just been such a fantastic series that Behemoth Comics is putting out. We get a mix of like a vibrant LSD trip and this dark detective slash metal story. Just so many things going on in this, and it's just been fantastic. It is not a light read, but it is a fun read in terms of just like yeah, just the heavy metal side of all of this. Really enjoy those kind of trippy scenes that we've been getting as well, and the bright colors brought in. Just fantastic read overall. We're on 5 of 6 here. It is my number 4 pick for the week. Coming in for number 3, another bright one here on the cover, is Kaiju Score Steal from the Gods number 3 from Aftershock Comics from James Patrick and Rem Brew. Michelle and her crew are about to go into the belly of the beast, and that's not just a metaphor. But are they ready for a job that has no margin for error? And even if they are, the true nature of the score is about to be revealed, and not all of them are going to make it out of this issue alive. Take your blood pressure pills for the tense third chapter of Kaiju Score Steal from the Gods. We know from the first volume of Kaiju Score, people gotta die in these things. So our crew here, hopefully, and I have a feeling Michelle's gonna make it out of this, but which of our crew is going to die this issue? And will any of them make it out of the belly of the beast alive? Who knows? This has been another fantastic chapter to the Kaiju Score story going on here, and I think it's planned for 4 issues, just like the first volume. So we're going to be hitting our peak action here and into the first part of issue number 4. Sure, we're going to get left on some sort of cliffhanger, and probably issue 4 will kind of wind things down and wrap it up. But Kaiju Score Steal from the Gods number 3 is my number 3 pick. Coming in number 2 is another issue number 3 this week from Michael Morecki and Alessandro Vitti. John Gallagher doing the cover art here. Spinning out of the pages of The Resistance of Jones's focuses on a suburban family with a big secret. In the global pandemic known as the Great Death, mother, father, sister, and brother were all transformed into something superhuman. While the world embraces fascism born of fear, the Joneses realizes they face grave consequences if they are exposed as reborns. Do they keep a low profile and hide in plain sight, or use their powers for good and risk exposure? The other interesting thing about this, besides just this family being reborns, there is another family in here of reborns, but they are not using their powers for good, and this may end up leading to the families exposing themselves as to who are reborns in their community. It seems like that fear of what reborn is being in the community is just like so many different social fears throughout this country's history and currently going on in this country. I just love that extra commentary that's in here. Besides it being a story about a superhero family learning to deal with their powers and all of that, there is that side of social commentary, which is fantastically well done by Michael Morecki. So that is my number 2 pick from AWA Upshot, Jones's number 3. And lastly, my number 1 pick this week looks like it's going to be such a fantastic, crazy fun story here. The Illusion Witch number 1 from Behemoth Comics, written by Ruben Romero with art by Andrea Errico. The Illusion Witch tells the story of Adia Locke, a world-famous illusionist traumatized by the loss of her father and son. She has become cold and disconnected from reality, transported into Sari, a fantasy world filled with magic and danger. Adia is paired with a talking quoll, a warrior, his son, and a powerful mage. Hunted by the Three, a wraith with monstrous intentions, Adia will face her inner demons while battling real-life monsters in her attempt to save herself and Sari. Looks like a fantasy story with lots of cool things going on. I want to say issue 3 and 4 on Kickstarter somewhat recently, so if I get all of those in before the next several issues come out, I may try to get some reviews out for all of the issues of Illusion Wish. But just based on description, based on Behemoth has not really put anything out for me that's been a miss recently, and this is no exception. I think even more so probably one of the books at the top of my list from Behemoth. So it is my number one pick this week for that reason, and I think is one everyone should go check out. So Illusion Witch, number 1 of 6 from Behemoth Comics, my number 1 pick this week. And that wraps up the most anticipated comics for New Comic Book Day, June 22nd, 2022. Thank you for watching. As always, collect what you love. I'll see you next time.